Right, you lot, and right now the whole planet is losing its mind over the announcement of a fifth Toy Story. A film, let's face it, about as necessary as the Thing prequel. I mean, who really asked for that? We've got fans globally calling out Bob Iger's complete inability to create anything remotely original in this lazy last-ditch attempt to salvage an animation studio on the decline. And this pill definitely wasn't made any easier to swallow, with it coinciding with the announcement of a third Frozen and second Zootopia. However, although the latter has actually been quite well received. However, I believe that many are overreacting here, and are failing to sort of see why this decision was necessary, and today I'm here to call out the hypocrisy. Oh how I love hitting back at Twitter. Now, I need to start this off by saying I'm against a fifth Toy Story. Toy Story 3 is my favourite film of all time. And I'm actually in the minority that loved Toy Story 4 and thought it served as a great... And I thought, if nothing else, it served as a great character study to Woody, despite not doing much of the rest of the cast. But I really don't see where you could take this world next without it feeling repetitive or redundant. Now, Disney in 2022 was all around just a disaster. Bob Chapek's complete mismanagement of animation and disrespect to Pixar's animators was so appalling. Whether it was his throwing Turning Red onto Disney Plus or just lack of promotion to Strange World, he gave Disney their worst year since the year The Black Cauldron came out. That's not an exaggeration either. So Bob was out of the door for Bob. What a trade. But the Bob that came back was Bob Iger. Now, if you don't know who this man is, he is the reason Disney has become this monopoly it is. He pushed for the acquisitions of Fox and Star Wars and has taken Disney so far from Walt's initial vision. He's also a man of franchises and is the reason we've got all these remakes. He wraps every single project in cotton wool and plays to the safest of markets. You wonder why Pixar has turned out so many sequels in the 2010s, or why Star Wars is just so overly filled with fan service, or why the MCU rapidly has increased in output. This man is the one you can point your finger at. And after a year where financially the company was in such disarray, I feel like it was almost written in the stars for the return of Bob Iger. Now, the pandemic has permanently hindered the movie-going experience, especially in the family film department, and that fact is irrefutable, unfortunately. Many families just won't risk the cinemas or can't be bothered these days, which is realistic when they know it's on a streaming service for so much cheaper in a month. It's bloody obvious. Why rag your whole family to the cinema to see a film when you know in less than a month you'll be able to see it for £7 subscription? Like, it's bloody knowledge. However, big blockbusters have still found a way to bring in the big audiences. The likes of Spider-Man No Way Home, Avatar The Way of the Water, Top Gun Maverick and Jurassic World Dominion have proven people will still go see these big events. However, what do these four films have in common, you may notice? They're all entries into highly respected IPs. Cinema, tragically, is going in a franchise direction, and that can very much be pinned on the MCU and its massive presence. So unfortunately, for Pixar to remain relevant, they have to make franchises to stay afloat. That's a sad reality. One of the common criticisms I find so frustrating is when people complain that Disney don't create anything original anymore. However, people fail to define what the word originally means. I mean, Disney built their empire off of childish, light-hearted adaptations of classic public domain stories. No one ever banged on about The Little Mermaid or Beauty and the Beast for their complete unoriginality. Sequels in a lot of the case are necessary and serve as a great way to expand worlds and experiences, and really add more layers and to delve deeper into characters. Because a lot of the time in 90 minutes to 2 hours, it feels rushed and there's so much more you could do. Sequels are good, like bloody hell, we're not Sir Alec Guinness and hating on The Empire Strikes Back. And I know sequels usually don't work, and I think the key reason that is because studios know it's a money maker. They don't need to put as much into it because they know people will go see the event. But I know many of you will actually be fine with sequels, and and most people were actually not too mad at the announcements of Inside Out 2 or Frozen 3 or Zootopia the Second. But they're more frustrated with the likes of Toy Story 5. But we know that people will go see Toy Story 5. People fail to realise that Pixar would have made 7 original films by the time Inside Out 2 releases in 2025. And so far, the first 5 of that catalogue has flopped. Firstly, there was Onward, probably the most unlucky film in cinematic history. The film received mixed reviews and tanked at the box office. However, that was really to no fault of its own, to be honest. And overall, I thought the film was decent. I mean, it had its flaws, but the ending really kind of salvaged it. And then there was Soul, thrown onto Disney Plus, which at that point was actually understandable and was very well received by both critics and audience alike. But again, at the box office, Soul failed to even compete with the likes of The Croods 2, which was in cinemas at that time. Then there was Luca. Luca was also thrown onto Disney Plus, quite unfairly, but again, it flopped in its minimal theatrical runs, despite, again, it was a solid film. And the same event rang true with Turning Red, which was probably the worst offender of the films being thrown onto Disney Plus, because, I mean, you could kind of excuse Luca because it was in the summer 21, you didn't know, but come on, by Turning Red came out, No Way Home with made like $2 billion, like, there was no way it was going to flop. And then there's Lightyear. Now, I know many people won't count Lightyear as an original picture. However, for me, the film might as well be original with how little it has to do with the character Buzz Lightyear. For God's sake, Lightyear was just such a nothing film for me. But again, it flopped. And then there's their upcoming film, Elemental, which looks promising. And I'm praying it's good. And then also the film Ello, which looks like kind of a space adventure film, which could go either way, but I have faith in it. So that's 7 original films in a row. But people won't notice, and they'll fixate on Toy Story 5 and how pointless it is and how it ruined their childhood. When those same people are the reason they're making these films. It's these people who will go hate watch it. People will go see Toy Story 5 with the mindset of wanting to hate it. However, they'll skip something like Elemental and won't meme it unless it becomes a meme for its animation or some aspect of the movie. What theatre cinema goers don't realise is that they are contributing to the reason we have a Toy Story 5. And there's a high chance that Toy Story 5 makes more money than probably Luca, Turning Red, Elemental, Soul and Onward combined. Despite maybe it won't be as good. I still have faith that Andrew Stanton will be able to do something with Toy Story 5. And I think, you know, Toy Story 4, they proved a lot of people wrong, and I know not everyone loved the film, but for me, it served really well with what it was trying to go for. And I'm looking forward to it, personally. Like, I know it's going to be pointless, but I will see Toy Story 5. And I feel like I'm part of the issue here, because I've not seen a Pixar film in the cinema since the 4th Toy Story. I do plan to see Elemental, hopefully, though. And then when it comes to Disney, which I feel like we haven't talked about much here, Strange World, Raya and the Last Dragon, and as well Encanto, despite its immense cultural impact, they were not hits at the box office. But obviously a sequel to Encanto would probably make close to $1 billion. If you really want originality and passion from Pixar and Disney, please don't waste your breath on Toy Story 5. Don't complain about it. Don't go see it. Don't go hate watch it. Pirate it if you want, I guess, but please. Try and spread the message that Toy Story is done. Go watch Elemental. Make sure Elemental makes a lot of money. Because if Elemental is a success, and Ello is a success, then Pixar will see that original films can still thrive. We're in a world where cinema is changing. And where movie theatres are becoming redundant with the great impact of streaming. You know, we've already seen markets like DVD, Blu-ray, or NHS completely go out of business because they've just not got the relevancy. And I do fear cinemas could be the next thing in that line of succession. So what we need to do is make sure that Pixar films aren't thrown onto Disney Plus again, and that we fully back Elemental and Ello to be successes. I go see Wish as well, because it's going to be a Disney musical, and any Disney musical is quality. Anyway, this was a bit of a random video and not something I typically make, but I wanted to kind of just do a video kind of pleading for people to go see Elemental and to really talk about why we're getting Toy Story 5, the logic behind it. Now, next week I've got a song coming out, which will be... But then after that, I've got another music-related video, but my next video, analysis video, I'm going to do a video defending the show Kenobi, which will kind of coincide with The Mandalorian Season 3's premiere as well, so... yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Goodbye.